Okay, you're welcome. Now we want to look at, we're still applying this our entry model, this one model for all, the OMFA, and we know our entry model, still applying our entry model, OMFA, then this our entry model as a supply to demand or demand to supply model, okay? So what we want to do right now is that, after higher time frame inducement has been taken, we want to look for lower time frame entry. That is, when price has not tapped into the higher time frame decision order block, or engineering liquidity, or order block, or extreme order block, all of those. Price has just taken out the higher time frame inducement. So what do we anticipate to look for then? When I talk about higher time frame, I'm majorly using daily time frame. Then the lower time frame for entry, I'm majorly using 1 hour time frame. Okay, so I can also use 1 hour time frame as major time frame, 1 hour. Then I can also use 5 minutes for the lower time frame entry. All right, so in this situation, what we want to be looking at our higher time frame, price has already given us this structure. Then when price gets to our inducement point, there are a lot of candlestick pattern that can form there. In the first situation, this is morning star candlestick pattern. Morning star candlestick pattern is the one that when it forms, it can help. We can just enter the market directly. Like this has already give us single candle order block. You can see this green candle over there. That's a single candle order block. We can enter the trade directly. Enter here, put stop loss below, and set target to this high point. Okay, but going to lower time frame entry, it will help us to add more confirmations, because we are not just trying to use this type of candlestick pattern to enter trade anymore. We want to make sure that even if we go on lower time frame, we can see our pattern, our type of one model for all. All right, so there are lots of candlestick formation that can happen there. This is morning star candlestick. Then there's also single candle order block that will just sweep the inducement point. That's the red line that you are seeing. This single candle order block, once you just sweep it at the close of that candlestick, what do? We can go to the corresponding lower time frame to look for our entry. All right, so that's for that. The first one is morning star candlestick. The second one is single candle sweep. All right, then the third one that can happen, we can have candlestick body closure also. It doesn't matter. All right, so all we want is that by the time we go to the lower time frame, after these candlesticks might have formed, we have our entry model, and if we have it, we can enter the trade confidently. So going to our lower time frame, our corresponding lower time frame, we see that yes, pullback inducement, right? We are now in the lower time frame now. So break of structure inducement. We see in the lower time frame, there's already change of character, and the structure that forms with respect to this inducement point, all these candlesticks that are now formed in the lower time frame, after break of structure, moving upward, price cause change of character, giving us the impression that yes, lower time frame is selling. But by the time we now monitor the trade and we see this type of structure, our structure that is telling us that the price of this particular trade is trying to reverse to continue with the higher time frame trend. The higher time frame is buying, but right now the lower time frame is selling. So we are not trying to sell with the lower time frame. All we are looking for is that on the lower time frame, we want this type of entry model to happen. It might happen at this particular type of candlestick formation, or this or that, or it might also happen after many candlesticks has already formed. In as much our additional order block has not been tapped, our engineering liquidity has not been tapped, our extreme order block too, they have not been tapped. In as much the general market structure on the higher time frame has not changed direction. All right, so all we have to do when price is still at inducement point or the area there, as much as price is still there, we can be monitoring the lower time frame for a type of entry model, and when we see it, we just enter directly. All right, so I'm going to look for a particular model, and the particular one that played out using this particular model of after price has taken out higher time frame inducement, the lower time frame, give us our entry model, then we can trade accordingly. All right. Okay, taking a look at this structure right now, what you see here, this is our APT USDT on the daily time frame. All right. So what is price giving us here? Price has given us, this is break of structure. Then we're expecting price to come to this inducement, daily inducement. That's for DI. How did I get that as the daily inducement? You see, by the time you trace the full pullback here, you see that price never took out this high point. So that high point is protected. That means here is the main high point. Then, so therefore, we cannot use this place. We cannot use here as our what? As our, we cannot use this point here as our inducement because this candlestick did not take out this high point. Okay, so we are moving on. See the 13 where we to put our additional our inducement. You see this candlestick, this green candlestick, and this candlestick. This candlestick, this white one, did not take out the low of this green candlestick. So therefore, it cannot be considered as what? As inducement. You see, you can see. Let me mark it with this white candle, with this white line. You can see that this white candlestick, the wick of this white candlestick did not take out the low point of this green candlestick. So, it's supposed to take it out like this. If it did, then this point will be considered as our inducement. But since that did not happen, we have to be searching, and then we are still coming down. Then when we are coming down, we'll see that this last candlestick that caused this pullback, then this candlestick here took out the low point of this last top candlestick. So this high point, this candlestick high is valid, and then the low has been taken out by another candlestick, making this point a valid pullback. You can see it. Let me use this to take it. You can see that this other candlestick are taking out the low point of that candlestick high. This is the candlestick high, then the low point has been taken out with another candlestick, making this a very valid pullback. When we're talking about the video about pullback, all of that, that's how I usually detect my pullback for inducement. So you can see that when price has taken out the inducement, what happened here? This is with candlestick body closure. You can see that white candlestick there, it closes below this inducement point. Okay, so when that happened, what do we do? You can see also at the extreme here, this is where our additional order block is. After additional order block, the last pullback before the extreme order block is what? Day engineering liquidity. So the next thing to do is now to go to our 1 hour lower time frame. We want to look for our entry on the 1 hour time frame. How we are going to get our entry? You see, this is a crypto pair, and as such, the calculations, the candlestick formations, all of them are very rough. Let me see. You see, if you look at this whole scenario, this is the pullback from this leg, from this candlestick leg. You can see that this is a valid pullback. Why are we not using this as the pullback? We can see that this last candlestick low, you can see the high point was not taken out. The high point was protected, and as such, this high point that was protected, you can see the gap there. The gap shows that this high point has been protected. So everything that just happened in between here, everything is all about engulfing candlestick. So this cannot be regarded as a valid pullback. So we'll move ahead, and then you now see this is the one that gave us valid pullback. Everything just in order. So that's for our inducement. So when that gives us our inducement, what we want next is for price to tap into additional order block. You can see in all of this leg, there's no additional order block. Everything just mitigated. Then what the price do next? After price take out that inducement, what did price do next? Let me use this long wick. You can see price then take out that low point. After price took out the low point where this long line is coming from, then we can draw this line again to take out this low point. Okay, so what happened? Price took out the low point again. After price took out the low point, you can see the formations, the candlestick formations, all of that. All these are just pull back, then pull back, then pull back again. Then price took out the low point again. After price took out the low point, this whole candlestick, you can see, then giving us a valid inducement. Then after that valid inducement, what happened here? 1 hour inducement sweep of candlestick. Those are not our concern because we are looking for our entry model. And then what happened? Price tapped into this directional order block. You can see after price tapped into it, there was a reaction here. The reaction that happened, when this reaction happened, then price fade this pullback. After price fade that pullback, then what happened next was that price came to take out the other block that reacted, the low point that reacted from this directional order block. This is the low point. Price came to take it out. When price came to take it out, what do we expect next? Price just boom went and take out this main structure that has been formed. The last valid pullback, the last high point of this valid pullback is just this. So this is just some rough explanation about how after price has taken out higher time frame inducement and then giving us a valid pullback. After that pullback went up like that, most time to have more arrow, if you put your entry here, this is just about set and forget. Put your entry here. Why is it set and forget? Because if you look around this place here, there's no valid order block. So when this happens, you just adjust. You can just set your trade for price to come and take out this low point that caused this pullback from this directional order block. So price came back, took out the inducement point, and then went up. You can also extend your entry, your limit entry to this pullback that happened after price took out this 1 hour inducement. Okay, so after price took out 1 hour inducement, there was a pullback there before price went to touch the additional order block, caused another pullback, then failed the additional order block, then price came down now, took out the point of the additional order block pullback, also took out the point of the inducement pullback. So that is how this trade went, and you can see this was a beautiful trade. How many arrow? 31 arrow. So this our entry model. When it gives you an entry, the arrow is always amazing. It doesn't come all the time, but when it does, it's very, very amazing. So this is what happened when price take out higher time frame inducement and going to the lower time frame. We look for our structural change in character, all of those, and then boom, we cannot trade accordingly. All right.